Hello, and thanks for tuning in to OPM Live, which is an extension of Ordinary People Magazine. I am so happy that you guys decided to join us today. Oh, and Happy New Year. We had to take a short sabbatical, but we are back and better than ever. And today we have as our guest Courtney Robinson. She is an image coach, and we cannot wait to hear what she has to share with us. But you know what I always said? We're practicing 6 feet apart and we are still wearing our masks. We want to be able to keep ourselves safe as we keep others safe. And so, with that being said, but no, let me start back. Let me back a little bit. We want to thank all of our sponsors, and it is Vimashi Enterprise, Southern Eagle Music Group, It's a Raised Vision, and Gemstones and Trinkets. We thank them for everything that they have done for us, given to us, and all of the training that they have imparted upon us. And with that, now we are back to our show with Miss Courtney Robinson. I will be bringing her in. Hello, how are you today?
Hello, how are you, Miss Nickelberry?
I am excited. I'm so excited to have you here today and everything that you're going to share with our audience. So, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about yourself and exactly what is it that an image coach does.
Sure, absolutely. So, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. You know that we have a long term collaboration and relationship, so it's always exciting to connect with you. Again, I am Courtney Robinson, an image coach and wardrobe stylist with Image by Courtney. I have been officially building my business for a little over 3.5 years now. And so basically, what I do is I work with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, influencers, and speakers to help them align their image and their wardrobe with their passions, their personality, and their lifestyle. And I do that specifically so that I can help them show up in a beautifully powerful way and for them to be able to connect with their ideal clients and to increase their impact in their community and in their brand and in their field. So, absolutely love doing it and love the relationships that I get to build with the women that I work with. And I love the transformation that happens when women build up that confidence and really come to appreciate their own authentic personal style.
Wow. So, what made you go in this field? I mean,
That's such a great question. So I am a serial entrepreneur. I just love entrepreneurship at heart. And I actually got my start at Mary Kay years ago.
oh,
And
wow.
I credit so much of what I've learned in business and my presence to that organization and what I learned in that organization. But since then, I've done a number of things. Um, let's see. Back in 2012, I decided to go to business school and get my MBA. So while I was in business school at Kenan Flagler in North Carolina, I had very few female peers because business school usually is male dominated. So, but I did have a few female peers, and one of them said to me about halfway through the tenure in our program, she said, "You know, Courtney, you just always show up so sharp." And she said, if you were an image coach, I would hire you. And
Wow.
that was really the first seed that was planted that made me think, maybe I could do this. Because honestly, back at that time, I was building my own image. As I was going from middle manager to upper management in my corporate job, I was learning how to get this executive presence and what it took to show up, in front of C-suite level people and to speak to customers and also just to gain that influence of my peers and colleagues. A lot of it just related to how I showed up.
Wow.
And so I took that opportunity to really delve into getting my wardrobe in shape, refining my hairstyle, looking, learning a little bit more about makeup and what worked best for me, taking care of my body, my temple, working out and doing all those things so that I could feel the best that I could about myself. And all of that is what directly translates into what I do as an image coach.
So I'm gonna back up a little bit. You
Mhm.
mentioned Mary Kay, and believe
Mhm.
it or not, I recently became a Mary Kay consultant. And
That was awesome.
you know what? I was not going to be involved because they offered the website
Mhm.
thing. But then I found out I got to be involved in order to. I got sucked in basically. I just thought I was just helping a friend out. She said, "Oh, just do the website," and I was like, "Fine. I don't have to be. I don't have to worry about being worried about it or whatever, whatever."
Mhm.
But as I was taking the modulars, Miss Mary Kay voice, so soothing, so soft, and she just sucked me right on in.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's an amazing organization. I can't say anything bad about it. And like I said, for that to have been my first experience with entrepreneurship and having a business and just learning the ins and outs of things, I couldn't have asked for better mentors in that space and to be connected to women who are just so excited about what they do and changing women's lives on so many different levels. So there's a lot of that history in me that embraces that experience. And
I
so
can see that.
I think that's awesome.
I can see that. I can see that. Now going back, you mentioned wardrobe.
Hmm.
So I okay, so I'm gonna throw this in.
Okay.
I am one of Courtney's clients actually.
Yes.
And she when I had a photo shoot and she invited me, or no, she suggested that I just shop from my closet. And I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but with her guidance, it worked perfectly.
Hmm.
So, if you don't mind sharing how working from your closet or shopping from your closet, or how you get people to actually, or women to actually look at what they have in their closet that could
Hmm.
actually or potentially work for them and whatever
Hmm.
project they may be working on.
Absolutely. One of the cornerstones of what I do is a closet audit with most of my clients. It just really depends on where they are in their style journey because we're all at very different places. But what I find is that's a good starting point because a lot of times women will either have an overwhelming closet, it's overcrowded and they have too many things. And so their ability to show up or wear the things that work best for them is, it isn't as great as it could be because they really don't know what they have because they have so much. Then you've got women on the other end who are minimalists but they haven't shopped in years. So they're wearing clothes that just no longer serve them in this season. So that's why a closet audit is important because it really forces you to come to terms with what's in my closet, what's working for me, and what isn't working for me. So, like relayed when I worked with you, mainly what we wanted to do was decide what are those items in your closet that you love that also fit you well and that you look good in that we can pull into, making your brand work for you. And many times there are things that we have, but like I said, it's because your closet is overcrowded or you have things in there that just really you don't need. You can't see the forest for the trees, right? So you really have to weed out things. You have to get down to if I haven't worn it in 6 months, I probably need to get rid of it. What are the things that still fit me in my right now body that I look good in, that I feel good in, and that I really want to represent my brand? And those are the things that we start with. And whatever we need to do to fill in the gaps, then that would be the reason that we might need to go shopping or to come up with some type of wish list to be able to really fit what you're trying to do. But I always recommend shopping in your closet. I know I'm guilty of this. I still have clothes with tags on it hanging in my closet right now, some of which I can use and some of which probably doesn't work for me anymore. And I probably do need to get rid of. So
How often should we uh, perform a closet audit? How often should we do that?
that is a wonderful question. So I would say at least once a year, right? Because what you're finding is that you're going to have things that naturally age out of your wardrobe because either they're just a bit old and they need to be replaced, or maybe you've gained a little bit of weight, maybe you've lost a little bit of weight. That goes back to the dressing your now body, because as women, sometimes we tend to hold on to things. Oh, I can't get in that, but I'm going to lose 10 pounds and I'm going to get back into it. And I know I've been there, I've done it. But the transformation really started when I said, okay, Courtney, if you cannot wear it now, or you're not going to be able to wear it in the imminent future, go ahead and get rid of it. That really releases a lot and allows you to just breathe and be okay with where you are now and appreciating your body right now where it is and dressing it right now for whatever size it is. Um, so yeah, I think once a year is good because we go through things in the course of a year, and clothes, just depending on the quality, may and how often you wear them, which should be a lot. If you have a really good capsule wardrobe, you should be wearing and rotating through those items in your closet. They shouldn't be sitting there on the shelf for months at a time because you should be getting use out of them. And so, with that, probably in the course of a year or more, it will be time to replace some things. Maybe not everything, but some things.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking, I have these, I love flowing clothes. I love
Yeah.
clothes that flow. But I've lost a few pounds,
Hmm. Hmm.
and now my flowing clothes look like big clothes.
Right.
So I really was in the process of handing over these little. They're kind of like cover-overs. I mean, not
Okay.
cover up, but they're not a cover up. It's an actual dress.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, I really like it, but I don't want to give it away. So
Hmm.
I decided to take my dress and just treat it as a coverall for
Okay.
a bathing suit.
Yeah.
I want to make it functional. So
Exactly.
okay, I know how would you suggest to someone if they have a great piece that they love,
Hmm.
how can they, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Make it functional in a different way.
Repurpose it
What's
or
the word I'm
still
looking
get
for?
some use out of it. Yeah, no, I think that's great. So it really depends. If it was an investment, like certain clothes, we don't mind getting rid of them because they didn't cost a lot, right? It doesn't mean that they're not nice or we don't enjoy them, they don't look good, but they may not have cost that much. But if it's a piece of clothing or an item that was a sizable investment and you've lost weight, then maybe consider having it tailored, right?
Right.
Maybe consider going to a tailor and having it, just adjust it so that it does fit you at the size that you are now. Um, and let's see, I think that's a great idea if it's something like that that you can, use in a different way, repurpose it. Also, I recommend to my clients all the time, sell it. You can donate it and get a write off, of course, but you can also sell it on a portal like Poshmark or, something like that, and then take the money that you make and reinvest that back into your wardrobe, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I
So,
love how you use the word investment
mhm,
because when we shop, normally we don't think of it as an investment. We just
mhm,
buy pieces that we like, but we
exactly.
never, at least I have not, thought of it as an investment. Maybe
Yeah.
only once is when I wanted a really, really great coat and it cost,
Mhm.
more than I had my budget set for. But then
Right.
I figured I would wear it more than once. And so now I can look at that great coat as an investment and not just a
Absolutely.
coat.
I
I
think you
love
should look at your whole wardrobe as an investment, right? And I think that if we start to look at it that way, that will influence our buying decisions. Because think about it. I encourage, if you're watching this, viewers, think about this. Would you rather have a lot of inexpensive items in your clothes, just to, in your closet, just to say you have a lot of stuff? Or would you rather have a few or less items that are of really great quality that you know that you're going to be able to get a lot of wear out of, that you love them, and that they're really going to serve you and look amazing on you? So I love that, you have a coat that you consider an investment. I'm a coat woman. Like, I love a really nice looking coat. I just think it makes you look so classy and it's just so regal. And so I really make great investments in my coats, but I also started doing that in everything that I wear. And it doesn't mean that I pay full price for it. I watch sales, especially at the stores that I shop the most. I watch their sales cycle and I'll save things, and make sure that I can go back and look. And when it goes on sale, then I scoop it up, especially if it's something that I really want. And that's why I suggest keeping a wish list of things that you would like. That's a great list to keep for those investment items that may be a little bit more, because you can watch them. And when they go on sale or when they're discounted, and you have set aside some type of budget, and we should get to that too, then you know that that's something that you can invest in at that time for yourself.
Well,
So,
so how much of a budget should one have as far as buying investment pieces? But not only that, it's twofold.
mhm,
You know how you see uh, they have like the pants, the skirt, the top, the jacket. It's like four pieces.
mhm,
What do you think about those? I have looked at them, but then I'm like, well, I'm really not going to wear the top, but I do love the skirt. I don't care much for the jacket, but at some point, I mean, I really can't figure out how they would work for me because
mhm.
maybe I don't like the way the top is made. So, what do you think
Right.
of those?
So the first part, like how much should you spend? I think, that's a really personal question, right? Because some women are really not into fashion and style. They just want clothes to be functional. So those are the type that may have, a very minimal budget. Then there are women who really they believe in and support the investment, and they're okay with having a much bigger budget. So it's a personal decision. But I think the most important thing is to have a budget, right? Because then you don't feel guilty or wasteful for buying or purchasing things because you've already budgeted for it, right? So, like you said, you budgeted for this coat and it was a little bit outside of your budget. That's different than you just deciding on a whim, oh, I saw this beautiful coat and I want it. Because I think there's a little bit of guilt sometimes that goes into it for us as women, because we put our families first, our kids, our grandkids, our spouses, whomever. And so we're okay to spend all that money on everybody else. But when it comes to us, we kind of, we hesitate. And keeping yourself up, even your wardrobe, is really a part of self care. So I think every woman should have some type of budget for that type of self care. So
Mhm.
that answers that one. Then to go to what you asked about clothing. So I always say that any item that you purchase or that you have in your wardrobe should coordinate with at least three other items.
Oh, okay.
That is what helps you to have a functional capsule wardrobe. Because think about it, if you buy a piece that doesn't go with anything or is kind of on an island by itself, you're not going to get a lot of wear out of that. So I wouldn't invest in something like that that has that many pieces to it if I didn't absolutely love every single piece and I wasn't going to get wear out of every single piece, especially if it comes as a set. Now, if they come as separates and you can invest in it as separates, and again, that piece is something that will coordinate with three other items in your wardrobe, then I say go for it. But that's what's going to help you from an outfit planning perspective really get your wardrobe in shape. Because when we say we have nothing to wear, it's because we don't know how to put ourselves together. We don't really understand the outfit planning. And we have all these clothes, but we don't know what goes where or how to just put it together.
Hmm.
So that's like my number one tip. Like, don't buy anything unless you're sure it coordinates with a few other pieces in your closet. That way you're guaranteed that you're going to be able to wear it and wear it in different ways.
Hmm. So we really should shop with our closet in mind, with stuff, with pieces that we already have.
Yes. Be very intentional. You should always have a style strategy, right? Know your style, know what you like, be very decided, and kind of almost be very intentional again, but discerning. Like, if it doesn't fit in that style and if it doesn't fit into the rest of your wardrobe, then it's probably not something that's going to work for you. I'm not saying don't step out of your comfort zone and try new pieces, new colors, different things at certain times. I'm just saying make sure that it flows with your overall wardrobe so that you're getting some wear out of it and that you're investing in pieces that you're actually going to wear, not that are just going to hang in the closet with that tag on it indefinitely.
So, what do you think about? Now, I have seen individual. If it's coming purple, it comes in red because they just buy all the colors.
Hmm.
I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, if it's
So
you know,
I'm guilty of that. I'm one of those where if I really love something, I do. I want it in all the colors. So that's something that I personally have to work to be. So if I see it, what I do is I look at all the colors and I say, okay, let me pick maybe two,
okay,
two of the colors. And maybe one can be a color that kind of goes with the palette and the tone of my wardrobe in general. And then maybe let me pick um like a statement piece or a color that's really going to pop. It still coordinates, but it's very different, right? So I tend to gravitate toward neutrals. I love black. As you can see, everything I wear usually has black in it, or it's, black with some print or something like that. So when I'm looking at colors, I'm trying to find colors that coordinate with that. So
okay.
I'll pick reds, I'll pick jewel tones, I'll pick brighter colors, really bold pinks, things that are really going to accent and complement that black and just, maybe take it up a notch. But I say don't shy away from the colors, but realistically, if we bought something in every single color that it came in, are we going to wear it? You know what I mean? So it's just like pick your favorites and go with that. But I understand what you mean though, because I do. I have a couple of things that I've invested in different colors and or prints in, and I love them. I wear them all the time. I'm getting use out of them. So, you just have to weigh it.
I love black too. I think I got a small section in my closet that's all black.
Hmm.
I have since I have been with you, I have learned how to fix my closet.
Hmm.
So I have all my blacks, how you have it in colored coding.
Color coding. Exactly.
So I've learned how to do that. But then I've also decided maybe I should step out of the black, because every time I go, especially when going to church, everything is black or black and white.
Hmm.
So I understand that if someone said, well, black is not a color, but I think black is sexy.
It is. It's sexy. It's slimming. And it goes with anything. And I think that's why so many people tend to gravitate toward it. So I would say if you tend to gravitate toward blacks, then just whenever you are adding pieces, try to be conscious about injecting a little bit of color into your wardrobe to complement that black.
Wow. I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
So when you're helping a client, what
Hmm.
is what is the first thing that you what is the first thing that you suggest? Because a lot of us may not know our brand, or we are just coming into this whole brand thing. Like
Hmm.
for me,
Hmm.
sometimes I don't really know, but I know what I like. So
Hmm.
how do you work with a client that way who has no clue as to anything about a brand, but they
Or
need your service,
yeah.
your wardrobe? how do you guide them along?
That's a really great question. So we do a lot of more technical things, like just really breaking it down. I do this one exercise. It's basically like tic-tac-toe. So I ask the client to draw a tic-tac-toe grid on a piece of paper, and I ask them to write down all the attributes about um, their clothes as they are right now, that they think about themselves, right? So whether they think they're classy or comfortable, or just all the descriptors and words that they can think of, just to fill up those blocks except the middle block. And then I asked them, well, so those are the descriptors that you came up with about your style right now. If somebody were to describe you using those words, how would it make you feel? So it's really, tapping into the emotion, because it is, style is a really deeply personal thing. We care about how we look. We do care about how other people view how we look as well, although sometimes we're not willing to admit that. But sometimes there's a misalignment between what we're showing up as and what people see us as. And so that exercise really helps people to see, well, I think I'm this, but somebody else, I've heard other people say I'm this. And so do those align, right? Do they line up? And if they don't line up, then that's the opportunity for us to really learn, well, what really is your style and what do you really enjoy? Words like chic and classy and whimsical and bohemian and ladylike and sharp. I mean, there's so many descriptors. Comfortable, laid back. I could go on and on and on, but you've got to narrow it down to a few that you really want to represent your personal brand. And then after we determine that, then we start to say, okay, well, what type of clothes line up with that? How do we make sure that what you say and what you feel and what you want people to see about you, how do we make your wardrobe line up with that? And that's what we do. And then I do style boards. I come up with style boards on Pinterest and inside the software that I have for my clients, where I help them outfit plan and come up with wish lists so that they can visually see. If you're telling me my style is bohemian, then I'm going to show you what bohemian is. And either you're going to say, oh, I love it, or you're going to be like, nope, that's not quite what I was going for. And then that's how we know, that that's really your style or it's really not.
Do one's styles change from month to month, year to year?
I would say there are different seasons, right? Like those of us who are a little bit seasoned, maybe over 40, we're not dressing like we did in our 20s, right? We probably wouldn't pick some of the same things. So I definitely think there are seasons. And it doesn't mean that because you're of a certain age, you can't wear something necessarily. It just means, what is your style? And does that really fit with where you are in your life right now? And sometimes it doesn't. We're carrying over things from a different season that don't fit. Let's take, for instance, moms. When you're a mom of young children, your wardrobe is probably very different, especially if you're a work at home or stay at home mom, than if you work in corporate, right? So then when the children graduate and you're an empty nester and they go away, your life has changed just a little bit. You're not geared toward running around after little kids and, catering to them and doing for them. So would you still want to, dress that way or have that persona necessarily? You'd want to mature that just a little bit. So I just think we just have to consider the seasons that we're in, and especially in those of us who are in business, considering our business and our brand and really representing that to our best advantage.
Wow, that's that is one thing that I really could not totally grasp.
Hmm.
At 61, I
Yeah.
have been told that, okay, Miss Nickelberry, you know you got to come off of those heels. I love, yes, I love 3 and 4 inch heels, right? I'm like to the most 5'1", and but I love wearing heels. I
And
always
here's what I
and
say about that. If you can rock them, keep rocking them. No, that's completely different. Now, if they were saying, okay, Miss Nickelberry, it's time to come off those mini skirts, I might identify. But I know that's not the case. I know that's not the case. Yeah, please, no, please don't stop wearing the heels. So here's the thing, those things that you love and that you enjoy, you have to keep those things up. That's what really makes you excited and, helps you to want to get dressed and show up in a certain way. And I think the main thing is if you can walk in them and if they're comfortable. And a lot of women, they're haters because they're not as comfortable in them. So, or they struggle with, that type of thing. But there's a style for everyone. So I just say find your lane, find your style, get in it and rock it, just really rock it. So, but I think that's wonderful. And I love your taste in heels. They are so
oh,
sharp
thank
and
you.
classy.
I think for
Absolutely.
me, being the height I am,
Hmm.
I can rock the heels, but I also can rock a cute little baby doll. But then I noticed
Yeah.
I'm 61 anyway, so
Yeah,
you
you certainly don't look your age. Man,
know.
that is just such a blessing. That is so cool. Um, but yeah, I just you gotta find the things that you love and do not give them up for anyone. That is what differentiates you and makes your style your own. So as long as you can, please keep rocking those for sure. I love heels too because I'm petite. And I love the height that they lend. I also love the way they make my legs look. I love, especially when I'm
Yeah.
wearing dresses and things. And shoes are a way to really introduce that femininity and sexiness, if you will. And we're women. There's nothing wrong with that. That we were created to embrace that about ourselves. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Thank you. It has definitely been a pleasure. And let me tell you, let me just share with the audience. I'm just going to throw this in here because I enjoy working with Courtney. She is amazing. She's my stylist on all of my photo shoot. If I need a stylist, listen, I'm going straight to her because because I have built that relationship with her, and I know
Mhm.
she's going to get me just. She's going to have me, as young people say, on point.
Absolutely.
I'm just sharing my experience working with her. I love her. So,
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And I enjoy working with you too. I love having long-term clients that you can work with because you get to know that person, you get to know and understand their style, and what they appreciate. And so it's really cool to work with them and find ways to make it better, bigger and better every time we do a photo shoot, right? So I'm
right.
so excited about the last one that we did, and I can't wait to see the cover of the
Oh my
next
goodness.
OPM. Oh my goodness. I
It's
know
going
it's
to be,
amazing.
yes, yes. It's going to be
Ah,
amazing.
yeah.
I am so, I'm so excited about it because I get to take it back to the, to the store where I bought the outfit from.
Hmm.
Then I can reveal where I actually got it from. But
Hmm.
anyway, but
Yeah, I've been waiting for the magazine to come out so I can put up like all the pictures I took at our shoot and stuff. I wanted to respect because I was like, I know this cover is going to be hot, so I won't put anything up until it comes out, and then I'm just gonna like spam everybody with all this business.
it was a great shoot. It was a great
Mhm.
shoot.
It
So,
was.
Courtney, if you don't mind, share with our audience how they can connect with you and any last words of wisdom that you would like to share. You can do that. I'm told you're not supposed to do that. So you can do that at this time.
Okay, absolutely. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. So you can find me at Image by Courtney. That is my handle for my website, www.image by Courtney. It's the same for my Instagram, the same for my Facebook page. And then you can also connect with me personally on Facebook with just my name, which is Courtney Robinson. And so I have revamped my services and I offer one signature service, which is an image to impact intensive. And that's where I basically do a VIP day with my client. We spend 4 to 6 hours making this transformation. So I actually work with you in your closet virtually. We do the style statement. We make sure you understand what your style is. We do outfit planning. We clean your closet. We do your wish list. We do a lookbook, all the things that you would need to emerge really having a good grip on your wardrobe and making a little capsule so that you know how to wear it and how to use it and you feel comfortable and confident in showing up. So that is the signature service that I offer. I'm always talking about it. And I offer a free strategy call where you can talk with me about your brand and whether or not you feel like my services might be something that would allow you to really optimize your wardrobe and ignite your image. So that's how you can find me, Image by Courtney. And yeah, if you're open to chatting, I would love to chat with you.
That's great. That's great. Courtney, we appreciate you so much for taking some time out of your very busy day to chat with us and teach us everything that we need to know and learn about imaging and your services that you offer. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. And I will be talking with you at a very early date.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay. Have a great one.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. And as always, we have a new book that we're reading from, and it is Be Still Waters. It's 365 Days of Devotion to Quiet and Refresh Your Soul by Anita Hickman and Marian Leslie. And so we are reading Joy comes in the morning, weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. As Psalms 30, the fifth verse, the NIV. And it reads, impossible. Sometimes the one word describes the day perfectly, right? Other words that might come to mind are dreadful, unredeemable, unbearable, with a little of the ridiculous thrown in. Some days feel like all that can go wrong has indeed gone wrong. The world has done its worst. How do you overcome trauma and disappointments? How can you rise above chronic illness and loss with the heart knowledge of a real friendship with a real God? When all the pretty words of the world crumbled away like fool's gold, the promises of God remains as solid as granite. Even when circumstances appear hopeless, He really is working things for our good. God Almighty can, in His supernatural power, wash away the terror of the night. He alone can bring peace and joy in the morning. If you don't feel like singing, that's okay. If you weep, He weeps with you. If you doubt, He's still there. Reach out to Him. See what good things the Lord has for you. And it reads at the bottom, Lord, help me to know that you are powerful. The whole earth is under your authority, and yet you are attentive and gentle enough to cradle me in your steadfast love. Amen. Wow, isn't that incredible? To know that God is with us always, even in our most darkest moment, we can definitely definitely depend on Him. And with that, thank you so much for letting us come into your day today. This has been OPM Live with Verna V. Nickelberry, which is an extension of Ordinary People magazine. And as always, love, peace, and increase. And until next time, have an awesome weekend.